Om Shri Sai Ram. Offering our collective and loving pranams at the lotus feet of our beloved Bhagwan. Respected elders and my dear brothers and sisters, loving Sai Ram, and a very warm welcome to all of you to 132nd Samarpan session in Dharmakshetra in Mumbai. Over the last 131 sessions that have been happening continuously in Dharmakshetra, there have been amazing number of speakers that Swami had blessed all of us with, who shared many of their experiences directly or indirectly with Bhagwan. And today, we have one such noble, illustrious, ardent devotee of Bhagwan amidst us. Apart from his 35 years of illustrious professional and work experience, his family has been involved in the Sai mission for more than 6 decades, serving Bhagwan in various dimensions of seva that Bhagwan has always loved. Let me introduce and welcome amidst all of us Dr. Gopi Pidatala from Hyderabad. Dr. Gopi, who is very lovingly known amongst all the youth as Gopi Bhaiya, is a very well-known person amongst the youth of the country, not just India but also abroad. In his journey with Bhagwan of so many decades, directly under Swami's guidance, Gopi Bhaiya had led many service projects, right from starting Gram Sevas in the state of Andhra Pradesh, which was directly under Bhagwan's guidance, to leading various Amrut Kalasham projects, various special projects across the India in the Sai organization. In fact, Gopi Bhaiya was also part of the Hyderabad Boys group, a very special small core group which was formed under directly Bhagwan's guidance, who received direct physical guidance from Bhagwan on various village and education related initiatives that Bhagwan wanted youths to be involved into. In fact, when the first World Youth Conference happened in Prashantanilayam and the youth from across the world assembled in Prashantanilayam, Swami had appointed Gopi Bhaiya as the program coordinator as the youth program coordinator leading the contingent from India. Currently, apart from being the trustee of various trusts in the state of Telangana, Gopi Bhaiya is also the convener of the Sri Sathya Sai National Leadership Program for Self-Transformation. He is also a national team member for all the special projects, the service projects which are led in Ladakh, the mobile medical van, the hospital projects being led in Ladakh, the oxygen concentrator project which was led across the country, were all under the direct leadership of Brother Gopi. And today all of us are privileged to have Brother Gopi amidst us and hear from him what Swami wants all of us to be doing. Sai Ram.
हमें तुमसे प्यार कितना साई आप ही जानते, अगर जी रहे हैं तो आपकी ही प्रेम के लिए हमें तुमसे प्यार। सुना गम जुदाई का उठाते हैं लोग, जाने जिंदगी कैसे बिताते हैं लोग, क्षण भी यहाँ तो लगे बरस के समान, हमें इंतजार कितना आपका प्रेम का, अगर जी रहे हैं तो आपका ही प्रेम के लिए हमें तुमसे प्यार। Offering my most loving salutations at the divine lotus feet of our most benevolent Bhagwan, my loving friend, my best friend, seeking His divine love and grace that needs to be showered on each one of us. Elders who are present here, my dear friend Srini, the State President of Mumbai West 1, brothers and sisters, and my children of the National Leadership Program. Sai Ram to all of you, and of course, the generals of the Sai Army, the alumni of Sri Sathya Institute of Higher Learning, Sai Ram. I'm indeed blessed to be here today. I think in my journey of Seva, I think, and my talks, the last on the list was Dharmakshetra, and Swami brought me here today with his benevolent blessings. I shall be speaking to you for the next 60 to 70 minutes. A warm welcome to our leader of the organization, Sri Nimish Pandya ji, also has come here. For the next 60-70 minutes, I shall be speaking to you some wonderful incidents that happened in our family, which I have seen personally, some very strong messages that Swami has sent out that needs to be shared with the society. And I'm assuring you that I will not try to bore you, because I know very well that I am not speaking, but he is going to speak today. So when he speaks, it is going to be fun and frolic. So how many of us actually believe that Swami is our best friend? Well, for me, Swami has been a best friend, Swami is a best friend, and Swami will be a best friend. The definition for a best friend for me is someone who actually is always there with you, doesn't ditch you, scolds you, puts you back into that plug where you have to be, and अपना भाव बहुत अच्छा दिखाते हैं. भगवान अपना भाव बहुत अच्छा दिखाते हैं. जब मारना है ठोक ठोक के मारते हैं. And that is what my best friend is about. So I'll start our journey, my family journey, and this is a very interesting incident. A lot of us have heard from so many devotees saying that Swami is this, Swami is that. Who is Swami? Swami says, I'm Shiva Shakti Swarupa. But here is one incident that happened in a family. This is way back in 1960s, late 60s. To go back, my father was the collector of Chittor. I should intimate all of you that my father was a very coveted IAS officer who was the chief secretary of Andhra Pradesh and was born in Anantapur. He studied in Anantapur. He worked in Anantapur. And then he got into the civil services, but unfortunately when he stayed there, he didn't know about Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. That is the irony of life. So when he was collector of Chittor, it so happened there was some riots in Chittor. And as a district magistrate, he had to order firing. And 5 people were killed that day. And the entire town was very tense. They didn't know what would happen that night. And my father also, very tensed, he slept that day. I will stop here and then go a little fast forward. I am going to around 66, 67, when my father was transferred from Chittor and he was posted as the deputy commissioner of his own town, Anantapur. That was the time a deputy commissioner was in charge over the collector. He was in charge of the deputy commissioner for Kurnool, Anantapur and Kadapa. Chittor, 3 districts. And someone in his office came and told me, sir, you are a very spiritual person. In fact, the first book on the Tirumala temple, the Lord of Seven Hills, was written by my father. It's even a textbook for doctoral students even today about the rituals, architecture. He was an archaeologist, historian also. And they came to him and said, there is a young Baba here in Puttaparthi. Would you like to go and see him? My father, being a little religious, he said, why not? So arrangements were made, and those days there was a jeep. He went till Bukkapatnam. From Bukkapatnam they had to cross the Chitravati river and then come to the other side. On the other side, Swami was there, and Swami told my father when he came there. My father was being called as Sitaram. His name is Sitapati, but Swami all through his life called him Sitaram. After he retired as the chief secretary, he was also the chief public relations officers in the Prashant Nilayam, handling presidents and prime ministers. And Swami said, Sitaram, నువ్వు అలసిపోయినావు, విశ్రాంతి తీసుకో, సాయంత్రం మాట్లాడతా. I am also trying to bring in the Telugu dialect of Swami so that some of you can catch it very fast. He said, you have come, you must be tired now. Go and rest, I'll talk to you in the evening. So my father was given some place to rest, and he was resting. In the evening, my father and Swami had 2 hours of interaction on a face-to-face interaction. And the interaction went on different counts, but there were 3 pertinent questions that my father asked. He later, in fact, wrote this in one of his books also. The first question he asked is, no Swami, no Baba, nothing. Sir, you seem to be a pious, holy yogi, and in your previous birth, they say that you were Shirdi Sai Baba. And if you are a reincarnate of Shirdi Avatar, in Shirdi Avatar, you wore tattered clothes, white clothes, stone, no chappal, nothing. But in this avatar, it is very surprising to see that you are wearing silk clothes and silk dhoti. What is it? How is that there is a huge transition in one avatar to another avatar? And my father was waiting for Swami to answer this question. Swami said, Nee rendo prashna enti Sitapati, what is your second question? And it went on, and my father said, Sir, okay, if you are wearing silk clothes, yogis and people who have left their, who are not materialistic, I find very funny, you are wearing 2 gold buttons here. There are 2 gold buttons here. How is it that gold has come into your form? Then Swami immediately said, Nee moodo prashneti, what is your third question? He asked. And my father said, okay Swami, okay sir, I agree to this. Now, in your previous avatar, you were walking, you were going in a tonga, you bare feet you were going. But surprisingly, I see that you are going in Mercedes cars in 1960s, imported vehicles. You are flying from one place to another person. What is happening here? It doesn't fit into the entire spectra of divinity or avatarhood. Then Swami smiled and asked, Inkemaina prashnalu unnaya? Do you have any more questions? Swami asked. Then my father said, Sir, only these questions I want you to answer. Then immediately Swami said, Sitapati, నువ్వు తిరుపతి మీద ఒక పుస్తకం రాస్తివి కదా? Sitapati, you wrote a book on the temple of Tirupati, is it not? Yes, sir, I did write. So my father was thinking, I believe in his heart, some camp clerk would have told him, and he is asking me. Normal human mentality, that's how it goes. Then Swami said, you tell me now, what kind of clothes does Lord Venkateshwara on Tirumala wear? The question was, what kind of clothes does Lord Venkateshwara wear in Tirumala? Then my father said, Swami, there is a Shastra there. There is a particular silk clothes that is woven, handloom silk. Only that kind of vastrams are adorning the Lord there in Tirumala. Then Swami said and smiled. Then he said, okay, now you tell me, what kind of jewelries and jewels does Lord Venkateshwara wear in Tirupati? Then my father said, Swami, Vajravaidurya, rubies and diamonds, crowns and necklaces are adorning the Lord Venkateshwara there. Then Swami continued to smile and said, now I will ask you another thing. Your Venkateshwara, when the Utsava Vigram goes outside into the streets in Tirumala, how does it go? Then my father narrated that there was a beautiful chariot, Radham, that was gifted by Sri Krishna Deva Raya, where 1,000 people have to pull it, and only then it moves. Then Swami said, then he smiled and said, Oka Rati Vigrahame Antha Vaibhavamga unte Sakshat Parabrahma Swarupuni Nenu Avatarichinapudu Na Vaibhavam Entundali, he said. He says, when if idol which is made out of stone has got so much of grandeur and glory, I am the Sakshat Parabrahma Swarupa that has arrived on this earth. What kind of grandeur and glory should I have? That is what I am, he said. And he didn't stop there. The beauty of the story goes like this. Then he said, now you tell me, Sitaram, on that particular day when you ordered firing in Chittoor, what happened in the night at 1:30? My father was a little surprised. Then he strictly regretted Swami. Swami said, I will tell you. Wait, you were very scared what will happen. There was so much of tension in Chittoor. And at that point of time, did not Venkateshwara appear in your bedroom in human blood? Did he not tell you to take Roddam Prabhakar Rao, the superintendent of police, and arrest 7 people? Did you not go that night and arrest those people? Who do you think came that night to help you? I was the one who came to help you, he said. So imagine this friend of ours, he can go out anywhere. He can help you anytime. We talk of ATMs and everything. This avatar is an ATM who comes to our help, provided we surrender to him. This is the most important thing. Now coming back to certain things that I don't know how many of you have heard of Professor Nanjundaya. Professor Nanjundaya is a former controller of examinations and he was also Swami's translator. I had an interaction with him and the interaction goes like this. I believe Swami was traveling from Puttaparthi to Whitefield in his Mercedes car, ADA 90. I'm very particular about numbers because I keep them as a track. This is history, his story. So when he was traveling, as they were just passing by Kottacheru, I believe there were a lot of slogans being raised on the road. This was the year 1980. In fact, I got it documented from Professor Nanjundaya himself. I wrote it down. Then Swami suddenly looks at it. Yem jarugutondi? Swami asked, what is happening? Then Nanjundaya said, Swami, elections are on. And there are slogans, Swami, they're raising slogans. And Swami asked Nanjundaya, who do you think will win? Swami is asking Professor. Swami, I think in my town, Congress is likely to win, Swami. Then immediately taking the opportunity, Nanjundaya asked Swami, who do you think who will win, Swami? Swami said, I don't care about elections and things. I don't have my own cabinet. I am not involved in all these things. Then Nanjundaya sir said, Swami, if something good happens in life, I am sure it is the will of yours. But if something happens bad, I think it goes according to cosmic laws. Is it true, Swami? He asked, I believe. Now he said, no, you are absolutely wrong. Everything in this universe runs according to my will, my law only. But I have departmental heads for each of the department. I don't get into their departments. But 3 departments, I handle it myself. He went on to say, and then very inquisitively, Professor Nanjundaya asked him, Swami, what are these 3 departments? He says, first thing is, whosoever has Niswartha Prema, that means selfless love. Anybody who has selfless love, who loves me wholeheartedly, I love him totally, wholeheartedly in return. Swami's words is, I do not pay any attention to the weakness of that person, but I love him 100%. First thing, selfless love. The second thing Swami spoke about was Nishkama Karma. That is selfless love. Swami says, whosoever performs selfless seva, I accept him and guide him under my personal protection. This is point number 2. Point number 3, Swami says, whosoever does nitya sadhana, who is doing regular sadhana, he is always under my protection. These 3 category of people are under my direct blessings and grace is what Swami mentioned. So, brothers and sisters, what a great thought, that we all have to imbibe from this. Selfless love, selfless service, and nitya sadhana. I will like to share with you an incident that happened in my own family. My wife's mama is one Mr. Sathya, who is one of the owners of the Amritanjan company. You know the Amritanjan, the big company in Chennai. He has never seen Swami. He has seen Swami. He has never spoken to Swami. He has never touched Swami. He has not had Padnamaskaram in his life. Perhaps the gentleman used to sit in the last row of Sai Kulwant Hall, see Swami's car pass by, is happy, and he used to go back. That was the kind of gentleman. Always post his retirement, the only thing that he would do is read Swami's literature for 7 to 8 hours. Continuously reading Swami's literature. It so happened one day, they have in their own apartment, they have an exclusive room for Swami. There's a bed, there's a air conditioner, there's a huge photograph. You'll be surprised to know that, the fan is switched on in the night, the air conditioner is switched off in the night. It so happens, that Swami is as if he's personally, physically sitting there. It so happened at 4:30 one day morning, my Masi, who's his wife, came and knocked our door and said, Mama is having some trouble. He is not able to pass urine and he's in great pain. I am from the medical fraternity. I knew this was a problem of prostate gland. The moment you're not able to pass urine, it's prostate gland. So immediately I went. He was in very deep pain. I told him, Uncle, don't worry. I'll rush you. I called my friend, Dr. Anil Mulpur. I called him. I said, Kahan gaye tu? He said, I am there in Sunshine Hospital. You come over. We'll see immediately. So my mama was sleeping in the car in my back seat. Me and my wife were driving to the hospital. I was passing through Tank Bund in Hyderabad, Hussain Sagar. Suddenly, there's a car coming from opposite direction and there's somebody waving his hand at me. And I'm also waving his hand, waving back. Thoda dur aage jane ke baad, suddenly I thought, who is this guy waving hand to me? Then my wife told me, that's Dr. Sanjay, the urologist. She was telling me. I said, my God, this guy is the urologist. This is the guy I'm looking for. So immediately I called him, turned back. His hospital was very nearby. I went to his hospital. I told him this is the Dr. Sanjay, who is the Swami's student. Actually, he passed. He did his 12th till 12th in higher secondary school. He looked at him. He immediately did some tests and he came back within 1 hour and said, Gopi, I'm very sorry to tell you, he has got prostate cancer. We'll have to take up an emergency surgery, and this is what it is. The PSA readings were very, very high, and it was. Then we didn't know how to tell our Masi how about it. She was also pretty elderly. So I came back and told my wife, no, we will tell her, don't worry. Let the doctors take it forward. And as this was happening, I told my wife that, why don't I go and tell Swami about it? It's my duty to go and tell Swami. So I took a bus that night, reached Prashant Nilayam. I was sitting, Swami came in the veranda. Swami was in a wheelchair at the time. He came, and as soon as he came, I got up on my knees. Swami said, Yemi, what? I said, Swami, my mama is hospitalized. They said, the doctor said that he has prostate. I went up to prostate. Swami said, Nen chuskunta. He cut me out with the word of prostate and he said, Nen chuskunta. And he went off. Then I didn't know, I was supposed to stay back and re-plead or what, I didn't know. I came back home. And next day was the operation. And the doctor was ready. He said, we're going to operate in the morning. And believe it or not, before the operation, they again went for a scan. And they also went for a PSA test. The PSA was normal. The scan didn't show any prostate problem. And absolutely, he lived 14 years after that. Now, why am I telling you this? The reason why I'm telling you this, we always say, Om Sri Sai Bhaktavatsalaya Namaha. One who loves his devotees. You need not be very close. You need not touch him. You need not speak to him. You can have darshan from the 100th row. Yet, Swami's eyes are on you and he takes care of you. There's a beautiful poem that Swami says. Aduvalayantunna akashamanunna pattanamlanunna pallenunna guttamidunna natteta nadamanunna విడువడు నిన్ను ఈ సాయి భక్తులారా, విడువడు నిన్ను ఈ సాయి భక్తులారా. Swami says, if you're in the middle of a jungle, or in the remotest village, or in a town, or on a hillock, or in the middle of the ocean, let me tell you, I will never let go my devotees. We may forget Swami, but Swami will never ever forget. This is something that we have to take it forward. Now coming to Nishkama Karma, selfless love. For all of us, in the Sathya organization, the alumni, we're all involved in selfless work always. Let me tell you my story. I joined the organization when I was around 17 years old. There was a winter course in Indian culture and spirituality in Hyderabad, where Swami sent a couple of his students to speak. And I was pushed by my father to get into the course. Otherwise, my father thought I was a gone kid. I would have been a rowdy sheeter. I am confessing in front of Swami. So I had that kind of friendship. But by force, I was sent into this course. And the course of 3 days actually opened a new chapter in my life. So looking at the Sevadal, I felt that urge that I should also serve. So I went to Shivam, signed up as a pre-Sevadal. And the first designation or position that I was given to work with, I was made the CCS. You must be thinking CCS is Chief of Armed Service or Chief of Corporate Services. No, I was made the Chief of Chappal Staff. My job was to look after chappals. And being a son of an IAS officer, imagine the ego within me was telling me, किसी का चप्पल तू उठा के रैक में लगाएगा? मेरे घर पे 3-4 नौकर है जो मेरे जूते पॉलिश करते थे, मैं ऑफिस स्कूल को जाता था, डोर खोलते थे, मैं किसका चप्पल उठाऊं मैं? And I was avoiding, there were 2 other guys, who were doing it. I was avoiding the whole thing. That evening, it so happened, a very elderly person, about 70-75 years, he walked up to the chappal stand and he called me and said, "Na jollu teesi pedtava nuvu, will you remove my footwear and keep it in the rack?" He was not able to bend. Now this was a dilemma. If I bend and take the chappal, some friends of mine will see me and taunt me, "Tu chappal ka kaam karta hai tu? Kya karta hai tu?" So this was haunting me. So, but that gentleman was waiting, so I thought, let me go. I went, removed the chappal, took it in my hand, and I was just walking back. Then he called me, he patted me on my back, and he said, he put his hand on my head. I tell you, from there on, that hand, I believe today, even today, I feel it is Bhagwan's hand. I never turn back to do any kind of a work that is given to me. So Swami tests you. When you burn that ego within you, Swami really takes you to greater heights of self-realization. Now, I know that I was mentioning to Brother Lakshmikant also. We were all seated as Hyderabad Youth Group. It was introduced that I was a part of the Hyderabad Youth Group. It is all His glory. There's nothing that we have done. So we were all seated in the Cyclone Hall. Swami was giving Pad Namaskaram to the entire group. Then Swami told me, "You walk along with me." So I was walking along with Swami. So the last person was actually to take Pad Namaskaram. Then one boy, who is now in London, Sunil, he got up and asked Swami, "Swami, please give us an opportunity to serve." Then Swami said, "Ippudu em chestunarra meeru? What are you doing now?" He said. "Swami, ippudu seva chestunnan." Swami said, "Inka iyandi Swami, give me more opportunities to serve Swami." Then Swami said, beautiful thing. Swami said, "Meeru na seva chestu pondi, chestu pondi, chestu pondi. Ee Sai మీ సేవ చేస్తూ పోతాడు చేస్తూ పోతాడు చేస్తూ పోతాడు. He said, you continue to do my seva, seva, seva. This Sai will continue to do your seva, your seva, your seva. So that is the beauty of seva. Now coming to that, how many of us actually, I know a lot of elders are here, how many of our elders or members of the organization who are senior ask our children to come and actually work in the organization? A lot many of us because of what has happened to us and our pitfalls are in the organization, or sometimes we keep ourselves, our children away from the organization. But let me tell you, there was an incident when Swami said, I am telling you today, if you wear a scarf and stand near the door even for 1 hour, Swami said, I will take care of you for lifetime. Lifetime, he said that. So my request is, those of you who only come for bhajans is also seva. Those who don't come for seva, please take some time off from your busy schedules. Kuch bhi kaam karo. The gentleman with, the chairman of Andhra Bank was there. I forget his name, Gopal Rao Garu, who was a 100 years old man. Swami announced in Cycle Method once, saying that Gopal Rao every day goes to the canteen and serves water for 20 minutes. Swami sitting in Prashant Nilayam is talking of Gopal Rao 100 years. Swami said 100, but he still does seva. And that day it was so surprising, that moment Swami said that in the Cycle Hall, all the elders of the organization came to the canteen to serve water. Everybody came. So, but it has to be a continuous thing, and that is what Swami looks for. And the mode, and Swami, in fact, we had asked Swami, what should be the attitude with which we should do seva? Swami said, I'll narrate a beautiful story. The story goes this. And Swami said, Yakkad kelina ee story chappara. He said, wherever you go, you narrate this story. I'm taking the story now, live for all of you. Swami said, a sadhu was walking along the banks of the Bukkapatnam tank. As he was walking, I believe in the marshy lands of the Bukkapatnam tank, a lamb was stuck in the marshy land. It was trying to get out of the marshy land, and there were about 4 or 5 youngsters who were sitting on the bund and pelting stones on the lamb. And Swami says, the lamb was in a dilemma. It was trying to get scot-free from the marshy land, and at the same time trying to avoid the stones that are being thrown at him. So as this sadhu was walking, he suddenly saw that, and he removed his jubba. Swami is saying, he removed his jubba, he ran into the marshy land, picked up the lamb on his shoulders and let it go scot-free. And these boys who were actually there, they came up to this sadhu and said, you think you're a very big hero? We were having our entertainment, you spoiled our entertainment? And how is it that, you let that lamb out of that? We were pelting stone, we were having a good time. Then the yogi, what he said was something very, very important that Swami narrated. The yogi said, I believe, no, brothers, I did not try to save that lamb. I never tried to do that. As I was walking, I saw the lamb. The lamb was in a great pain there. And when that lamb was trying to avoid the stones and was also trying to avoid the marshy land to get out, my heart started aching. He said, Swami said, my heart started aching. Na hrudayamuloni bada nivrutti chesukodaniki nenu velli kaapadtini. Swami says, exact Telugu words. In order to alleviate the pain in my heart, seeing that incident, I went and saved that. I did not do any heroic deed. Swami says, this should be the attitude of doing seva for every sevadal in our organization. What a beautiful story, what a beautiful message. So this is something that we have to always think about. And the journey with Swami is always a beautiful one. I'm sure every one of us has an up, has a down. Everyone who is seated can reach, each of you write a Bhagavatam. One Bhagavatam we know, but if all the Sai devotees together start writing their own experiences, I think this hall or this Dharmakshetra will not be enough. It will be volumes of books, that you can really write. So, this happened, this once happened, and I was just talking to the youngsters also. What does Swami see basically in all of us? There was once an interview that two groups, Mumbai and Hyderabad youth group, both had together. And one of the Mumbai boys asked Swami, Swami, why do you like this Hyderabad boys so much, Swami? Why do you call them so frequently? So this is a very difficult question, and in the presence of God, this question is being asked. Why are you calling them? Merko kyun nahi bula rahe, unko kyun bula rahe? Then Swami looked at me, Ye mira, He said, Yemira? I said, Swami, I am not going to speak about it. Swami said, Chappu. Then Swami asked me to tell. He said, Swami, in my thought, I think there are two reasons, Swami, I said. Swami, Chappu, he said. Swami, you have aparamaina prema undi Swami ma meeda. You have a eternal love that you shower on all of us. That is why you call us so many times. He said, Swami, Satyam, he said. Then, rendo dentra. Then Swami, you are looking at our unity, Swami. Then Swami said, wherever there is unity, wherever there is love, I am physically present there, Swami said this. And this is something very, very important as devotees of Sathya Sai that we need to carry forward. And there's a beautiful story that I've narrated many a time. This is a very interesting story. Most of us know when we go as a group to Prashanti Nilayam, we sit as a group and Swami used to come, beautiful style, holding his dhoti like this. He walks up and he says, how many? That is the favorite word that Swami has, how many? So Swami normally comes like that and asks. He doesn't ask in Telugu, huh? He always asks in English. Swami came and asked, how many? So normally in our groups, we have one statistical officer whose duty is to count how many are there so that when Swami asks this, we have to answer that question. So that particular time, we were about 40 of us and Swami came and he said, how many? Then we said, Swami, we are 40, Swami. Expecting Swami to call us. Swami looked at us. He went one step forward. He said, wrong, Ra, you're wrong, Swami said. We were looking back, looking at that guy who was a statistical officer. Tu kya galti kar diya tu Swami ke paas. Then Swami smilingly said, nenu lenu mitoti, am I not there with you? Swami says, am I not there with you? We are saying, Swami, 41, jab tak Swami chale gaye. Swami left. And this was a great lesson for us. So Swami is there with us. So a couple of months later, we were all seated there. Swami comes walking again. We were about 45 of us be there. This time we knew the answer. Swami will come and ask, how many? 45 plus 1. So Swami came very beautifully with that mischievous smile of his, that smile that he has there. He came and he said, Yemi, how many? He said. So Swami, we are 45, Swami. With you, we are 46, Swami. Swami takes a step forward, smiles and said, wrong, Ra. He says, wrong again. And we were surprised. What did we go wrong? Where did we go? Swami smilingly, mischievously said, hey, am I not there with each one of you? Prati okkadito unna nenu. So 45 plus 45, we were shouting 90, Swami chale gaye. Swami left. This time, we were very, very careful. Now we know the answers. Paper leak ho gaya. Sab said, Swami, it was January, I think, the month of January. We were all seated there. We were 62 of us. 63 of us, we were there. Swami came very mischievously. You can see Swami's mischief on his smile, it's so beautiful. Swami started walking closer and he came, Yemi, how many? Anar. Then very beautifully he said, Swami, we are 63. With each one of us, you are there with us. It is 126, Swami. Swami takes one step forward, backward, said, Yemira tappu, wrong. And we were wondering, what is it that we're... Swami said, Yenni turlu vastunarra, how many times you have been coming to me? Don't you know? We are all one Ra, manamanta okkate. We are one, Swami says, And what a beautiful message. It took us time for us to realize what Swami wanted to tell us. The first time when he told us, we realized that Swami was talking about Dvaitam. Atma and Paramatma. So the second time, Swami was talking about Vishishta Dvaitam. Man, Atma, and also the universe. And then the third time, Swami came to the final consciousness where Swami said, I am the one, I am the Supreme. You and I are one. Aham Brahmasmi. Swami went to that stage. What a beautiful lesson that Swami gave us, And this is what, as Sathya Sai devotees, we have to realize. In the eyes of Bhagwan, all of us are his children. And all of us are one. We only talk about sometimes, we are beyond caste, creed, region, religion, all these things we talk about it. But in practicality, I think the need is very, very high that we should and we must practice this term of being one. So, when this is said, when we're talking about one, Swami also narrates this beautiful poem. Aikamatyame balamu andari kshemanbu yenta karyamaina negavachu chinna chimalu jeri sarpambunu batti champutundutaleda jagatiyandu aikamatyame balamu. Swami says, unity is strength. Don't you see in this world tiny ants catching hold of a serpent and killing it? Tiny ants catching hold of a serpent and killing it. So Swami says, be united, be united, be united. This is one beautiful story that I wanted to talk about it. There are so many things that Swami has in fact shared in our family, and I have seen personally some wonderful miracles. I do not know how many of you know Dr. Vyagreswarudu. Vyagreswarudu was one of the most popular orthopedic surgeons of the country. If there are any medical doctors here, I'm sure you would know Dr. Vyagreswarudu. The book of orthopedics, the textbook that you all learn, is written by him, Dr. Vyagreswarudu. So, you'll be surprised to note that he had an organization of which Swami had blessed it very profusely, called the Sathya Polio Foundation. And he was going around the country actually doing the polio corrections. And it so happened when I was doing my master's in Tamil Nadu Agriculture University, the local Samiti, Sachidanandam uncle came and said, Professor Vyagreswarudu is doing some surgeries. Can some of your postgraduates come and help us out in the arrangements? So we went with about 150 students to serve. So since I was a Telugu guy, I was posted next to Dr. Vyagreswarudu and he was conversing with me in Telugu. You will not believe we started operating at 6 o'clock. He went up to 11 o'clock in the night and Dr. Vyagreswarudu did 302 operations that day. 302 surgeries. He had a team of 6 doctors. They used to open it up, he used to correct it, and they used to suture it. 302. And during that time when he had his lunch, he was narrating a beautiful incident. Do we need to call Swami by his name? Or how do you pray to Swami is a beautiful lesson from this story. I believe Dr. Vyagreswarudu and his son-in-law, they were traveling on a road towards the port area of Vizag. He was from Visakhapatnam. Those of you who are from Visakhapatnam will know there's a port there. There's an unmanned gate. You have to cross that and go. So Dr. Vyagreswarudu went there and he was coming back. And they were discussing something. Suddenly as they came, they saw that the train was passing by. It was an unmanned gate. And there was a collision. Normally what happens when you hit a train? The car is gone. Imagine a train is going and you go and dash against the train, you're gone. So it so happened that the train stopped there. Dr. Vyagreswarudu's door was open. He was on one side on the ground, lying down. And his son-in-law door was open. He was lying on the other side. And all of them, the people gathered and they were saying, surprised, what happened. And the train went, the headlight went and touched the train. The left side headlight broke. And this is the story. So they realized they were quite okay and they went back. They went to the nearest workshop, I believe. They told that workshop guy, mechanic, sir. Then he asked, what did it happen? This guy, doctor said, I believe, I went and backed against a train. And the mechanic thought that this doctor was drunk. Ye jaake train ko mara aur headlight toota hai, bas utna hi. And they got it repaired and they came in. 3 months later, Dr. Vyagreswarudu was telling me, Swami called him for an interview and Swami was talking to him about operations and so. Then suddenly Swami said, Ye mi aro jo atla nadapitivi karu. How come you were driving like that night in Vizag? You were discussing with your son-in-law, you didn't see the train. Swami was telling him. Then suddenly Vyagreswarudu recollected, my God, this is what then? Then asked Swami, Em jarigindo telsa? Swami is asking, what happened? Do you know? Swami, I will tell you. You saw the train coming. You were about to go and back the train. You left the steering And you called out, Amma! You shouted. And do you know what happened? When you shouted, Amma, I had to arrive there. I had to open the door, pull you out and put you here, open the other door, pull out your son-in-law and put him out there. In the meantime, a fraction of a second I delayed, the headlight went and hit the train, Swami is saying. So imagine, whichever name you call him, whether you call him mother, father, whatever name you call him, provided you have that feeling that Swami is within you, he will answer. He will answer. I have a similar incident that I want to share with you. My father was working as the secretary to the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh. Chennareddy was the Chief Minister. And Chennareddy was going to Delhi and my father was supposed to join him. He was looking at some files. By the time the message came that the Chief Minister is already moving towards the airport. So my father said, go, let's go. So father said, you drive the car. It was a government car. So I was driving, my father was seated in the next seat. We were passing by the same tank bund and I was going at 70 kilometers per hour, driving fast because my father has to be before the CM there to receive him, protocol. So we were going there. In the meantime, so happened that as I was passing one vehicle, I overtook one vehicle. From the opposite direction, I was seeing a Matador van coming in. It just a split second, maybe 2-3 seconds, I hit the Matador van. I am gone, my father is gone, we are dead. On the tank bund, it's a direct collision. No chance at all. Absolutely no chance. My father suddenly sees and says, hey Gopi, say your prayers, he said. Very smart father I have. He said, say your prayers, you're gone now. I left the steering. I said, Sai Ram. I closed my eyes and said, Sai Ram. I opened my eyes, my car is going forward and the Matador van is going behind. It was so surprising. Was it a dream? Was it reality? We didn't know. We went back. Or 5-6 months later, the entire Hyderabad youth group was sitting. Swami was talking about youngsters. He was telling us every youth should learn Ita and Gita. Ita is swimming, Gita is Bhagavad Gita. So Swami was giving us instructions and Swami was telling each one of you learn karate. You should know how to karate, martial arts you should learn. Some directions that we got was very vague from Bhagwan. But we did learn, that was a different story. So during that interaction, Swami said, how many of you can drive? So I was sitting right beside Swami. So I kept myself shut. I know what it is. So Swami was asking, some boys raised their hands and Swami looked at me. Emi, nuvu cheyyattaled Emi. Why you are not raising your hand? Then Swami said, Em chestav? Sai Ram. Ka wodlestav? Steering. You leave Sai Ram, you say, and leave the steering. Then I have to come save you. Huh? And Swami said, I just hit it like this. The Matador van went that side, Swami said. So what I am trying to tell you is, this Lord saves you here. He is a great savior, provided you also listen to him on some counts. Thoda to follow karna padega. He is full of love. He is full of love. I have incidents in my family, where Swami, my brother-in-law and sister were attacked by a ghost in South Wales in London. You will not believe a mahogany wood cord which 4 people even can't lift. It suddenly rose up. It started moving in the thin air and it was a dreadful drama. Swami said, I saved you that day. So Swami saves people. Both my sister and my brother-in-law are doctors. And they regularly do medical camps. So Swami saves you when you say seva. This is what I want to tell you about. Well, when I talk about Swami as love, most of us have read about Frank Baronski, the Kirlian camera. A lot of us know about the Kirlian camera where the aura of an individual can be measured. So I had the opportunity of interviewing one gentleman called Acharya Sashidhar Reddy. You can Google him. This gentleman is the president of the Indian Pranic Healing Association. He is a pranic healer basically. And his guru, who is a grandmaster of pranic healing, is a gentleman called Chok Chui Sui. His name, he is a Malaysian. And a very, very well-known figure who is no more. He died in 2007, I think. So one day, I believe, this gentleman, Chok Sui, called Sashidhar Reddy and said, do you know somebody called Sathya Sai Baba? He called him, I believe. Then this guy said, I know there is one Butta Baba in there. He has got a lot of hair, He does some kind of miracles. There are frenzied devotees. They do that. They do this. Everything. I never go that side. And he was telling all those things out to him. Then Chok Sui says, no. I am coming to India. I am arriving day after tomorrow in Bangalore. I want to go and see him. Then Seshadhar Reddy was very, very surprised. Why does Chok Sui, who is sitting somewhere in Malaysia, is talking? Then he asked him, what is it? No, recently, I don't know how many of us know, I believe all the yogic gurus, leaders, everybody once in a year, the yogis, Siddha Purushas, I believe they meet in a place called Sambala in Himachal Pradesh. This is the thought that they have. So all, even Mahavatar Baba, all these people come there, I believe. This is what Seshadhar Reddy was telling us. It is documented. So Seshadhar Reddy was saying, one particular meeting, the entire congregation of yogis of every faith who were there, Swami was actually the chairperson who was coordinating the entire activity, giving directions what is to be done. So this Chok Sui wanted to meet this gentleman. So he came to Puttaparthi, and this Chok Sui has this, the physical ability to look at the aura. So for a normal being, I believe it's about 2 feet. For a Siddhi Purusha, it is about 4 feet, 5 feet. He talked about it, And the maximum aura of a yogi who has got phenomenal powers is about 8 feet or so. I believe when Chok Sui landed in Bangalore and when they started moving to Puttaparthi in a car, Chok Sui could feel a pink light hitting him. And he was wondering, where is this light coming for? And he started looking at, ye light kahan se aa raha hai? This is what he asked Seshadhar Reddy. Where is it? Where are we going? Why is this light coming and hitting me directly? And as they moved towards Puttaparthi, the pink light became very bright and darker and darker. And then he said, I believe, pink is a form of pure love. I am surprised. I have never seen in my life such light emanating from a single person. And he said, I am waiting to see this person, who this Sat Sai Baba is. I want to see him. So they came, they asked for accommodation. The Chok Sui, they gave him a room in South Prashanti, some room with one bed. And they stayed there. Seshadhar was telling me, he's one of the topmost guys, the accommodation office, they didn't give a good room and all this thing. But anyway, they were said. Chok Sui was very happy. It so happened the next day, he was seated in the veranda. Swami came, looked at him, Anjan. Swami knows, no? Swami is so beautiful at doing certain things. Swami came, didn't see him, just walked off. And this Seshadhar Reddy was getting annoyed. He was sitting in the Cyclevent Hall. His guru had come, is a international figure, and Swami is not looking at him. He just walked off. Then he came back and said, what is this? Your Sat Sai Baba has not spoken. You should put my guru in a more important position so that he looks at him. Poor fellow didn't know that nobody can do anything in Prashantila unless he wills it. So next day, I believe, Swami walked up and he stood in front of Chok Sui. He looked at Chok Sui. Swami smiled at him. And Chok Sui looked at him, gazed at him like that. Swami was smiling. Nothing, no gestures, no talk, nothing. As he was looking at Chok Sui, Seshadhar Reddy, who is sitting diagonally opposite, is saying Swami in a Dattatreya form, looking at Chok Sui. Suddenly he sees Dattatreya standing there and Chok Sui sitting there. And this guy got up, I believe. What is this? Suddenly I see this kind of thing. And immediately they came, darshan huya. Then Chok Sui said, I have seen the Lord of the universe today. I know who this Bhagwan Sri Sat Sai Baba is. My life is done. My mission is over. That's what he said. And he went back, I believe, and he wrote that every yuga, if one person comes onto this universe like this, like Bhagwan Sri Sat Sai Baba, the entire world will change, he said, I believe. So imagine how blessed we are. How blessed we are. In a place like Mumbai, where, I don't know, 2 crores or 3 crores population or more than that, I don't know how it is, 4 crore kehte hain. Only a few lakhs of devotees. Only a handful of people can come and sing bhajan. A handful of people can come and sing Vedam. We should realize that we are so blessed. We are hand-picked by Bhagwan. Swami once, when I was narrating in Cyclevent Hall also recently, Swami told me, ఇది నీ కొన్న వందలాది 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 జన్మల సుకృతం. దిస్ ఇస్ ద fortune of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of births that you are all sitting here. You have been picked by Swami, hand-picked. So blessed we are all are. So that's the story of it. So Swami otherwise also is very, very strong, and he can be very, very, I know once Chiranjeev Rao uncle came and told me, "Nu eppudu Swami Prema Swarupa." All of you know think Swami is Prema Swarupa. You have not seen Swami's Ugra Swarupa. He is like Narsimha avatar, he said. When Swami gets, I think Nimish Bhai knows, when Swami gets angry, his fire god. So I'll tell you an incident. It's a very fun incident, but to lighten the whole story. We had gone there to Puttaparthi, and Swami normally used to come and say, "Hello, how are you, what are you doing?" This way, that. Swami ignored us for 3 days, totally. Ab bache pure, they were thinking, "Arey kya hai, Sat Sai Baba dikhta bhi nahi hai, kuch bolta bhi nahi, itna seva karke aaye, kuch to khatirdari karna hai na." Swami was not looking at us. So it was 11 o'clock in the night, and we were in South 7, 3rd floor C, and we were all talking. Next day, Swami comes in the morning. He is walking towards us and says, "Rowdy gang, rowdy gang, rowdy gang." Then we thought that something is wrong now. Because Swami is saying rowdy gang, something has happened. And I said, "Hey, go." Then he said, "Go." So all of us went inside. We were seated. Swami was talking to us on different terms, And suddenly he looks at me and he says, "Ye mira, what re? You're scolding me in the night? Why are you scolding me in the night?" He said. I said, "Swami, maine kab bola? Swami, maine kab gali diya?" I didn't even realize that hey, Ratri, 11 గంటలకి నన్ను తిట్టలేదు. Light at 11 o'clock in the night, did you not scold me? Pottivadu, pani ledu, politicians. I said, this short man, 5 foot 2 inches, वो देखता भी नहीं अपने को, वो politicians को बुलाता है इंटरव्यू को, जो काम करता है उनको नहीं बुलाता है, ये बोल रहा था मैं. And Swami picked up that. I said, "How? Purest form in the universe, purest form." Swami held his jubba like this and he said, "This is the purest form. Ippudu variki okka tappu kuda ledu ee avataramlo. Not a single mistake I have done. Not a single mistake he has done." Imagine if we are with that kind of a avatar, how blessed we are. And Swami is, Swami likes everything to be innovative. I'll tell you a story of my younger son. This is a little interesting. Sometimes even today my younger son, pulls me up badly on that. My elder son was named by Swami. That is a big story. And he said when my second son was born, Swami said, "I will name him." 75th birthday came. Swami very sweetly said, "Nenu ippudu poojalu cheyadamu, perlu pettadamu, పెళ్లిళ్ళు చేయడం మానేస్తేని. I have stopped naming everything. I stopped now. Then I caught hold of his and said, "Swami, aap to chhod diye, you have left it. But tomorrow think of it, Swami, there will be a nuclear bomb in my home. The elder one will say, younger one will say, how come that fellow was named by Swami, I was not named by Swami? Gadbad ho jayega na. Swami, please." So continuously we went about 5-6 months. We were going. So when you go with children, you'll have to take a pressure cooker, dal, pura leke jaate the. Swami used to come towards my wife, metalize vibhuti, give it to her, put it on that fellow's head and go off. Then he used to come and say, "Nee koduku ni chustini, I saw your son there," he used to say. I used to say, "Swami, naam laga do na, ek naam laga do." Hamare bachche bhi jo group ke sab puchte, "Swami, one name, Swami, one name." So then, he gave me a brainwave. So it is all his doing again. Swami was walking that way. The entire group was sitting. I took a paper. I wrote down names. I wrote down 3 names. Swami came. Swami said, "Amy, Swami, meer perlu pettadam ledhu ka Swami, you are not naming now. Please decide one name from this. You decide one name. It is the best way to get the name." Swami took that paper. He looked at paper. He looked at me like this. He crumpled the paper. He threw the paper at me. "Emi, buddhunda? Ivi per la," he said. "Dimag nahi hai kya? Ye naam hai kya?" Then Swami, "Then you tell me what is the name that should be there." Then Swami went step one forward. "Emi, వీడిని సాయి హృదయ్ అని పిలుస్తామా? అందరి హృదయాలలో నివసించేవాడిని కదా. I am the resident of all hearts. So let's call this fellow Sai Hruday." And he was named Sai Swami. Then all the my gang, we came and said, Anna, what did you write, Anna? I opened the slip and put. First name that I wrote was Sathya Sai Ravana. Second name, Sathya Sai Kumbhakarna. Sathya Sai Vibhishana. 3 names I had written. My son even today says, what if Swami had decided one name? I said, how can Lord Rama decide some name which he doesn't like? So luckily it was my fortune that, that Swami decided to, but today he is happy with that name and that's what he does. So I would now move forward and share some experiences that I had the privilege of interacting with certain yogis that I had physically met. There is one book, Sri Sathya Sai and Yogis, which was written in Telugu, which I had translated into English. And this was released by the Books and Publication Trust. There is one incident that I want to share which relates to Sri Ravi Shankar. I know most of you know about the art of living, Sri Ravi Shankar. It so happened that one day there is a gentleman called V.S.R. Murthy in Hyderabad. He called me and said, Gopi, we are going to Sri Ravi Shankar's ashram to do an interview on behalf of the SVBC channel, Sri Venkateshwara Bhakti channel, and I want you to accompany. You can ask questions in English and I will do that in English. I said, no way, uncle, I am not going to come. I am associated with Sathya organization, I am not going to come. So he said, okay, but think about it. It's a good opportunity. You're not doing anything. You're only questioning. That's all, an interview. I said, no. Then I discussed with my brother and we were discussing. My brother said, Arey, tu karne kya ja raha hai? Tu jaake questions pooch raha hai. Utna hai na? There's nothing. You're not going and falling at his feet or doing anything. You can go and try. I said, no, I don't want to do it. So next day, his personal assistant, a youngster, called from Sri Ravi Shankar's ashram and said, brother, my name is, he said Ashwin or something. I believe you're coming on Sunday evening at 4:30 to meet Guruji. Guruji wanted me to find out at what time you're arriving so that we send the car to you. I said, brother, I'm not coming. I've never told anybody I'm coming. I never told him. No, this is what the information came. Then I went back to my brother and said, this message came to me. My brother said, go. Swami ka naam leke, go and see Swami in him now. What is there? You go. So I went, but I said, I will not do the interview. I'll just go and see him. So we were all seated there. The trustees were all there. And then some student came running and said, Guruji is calling you. So I went up. He has a big bangla out there. He was playing with his pet elephant. And the moment he said, Gopi, come. I've been waiting to see you. I said, why are you waiting to see me? I don't know. I never wanted to come and see you. So he took us inside and then there were some discussions that happened. So the crux of the discussion is, then I asked him some pertinent questions. Why is the world like this? Why is there evil, ego, everything? Then he said, you are not supposed to ask these questions. You come from a clan of Sathya Sai organizations. You know everything. Don't try to test me, he said. I said, Guruji, I am not trying to test you. This is what I wanted to ask you. And then he said, let me tell you, Gopi, perhaps many of the devotees don't know this truth. Sathya Sai is more powerful than what he was in his physical form in the Mahasamadhi in Prashantalilayam today. He says he's more than what he was. He's so powerful. And also let me tell you, he is the Sakshat Shiva Shakti Swarupa. You guys don't know about it. He is a Shiva and Shakti. I'm telling you. And where do you think the art of living came from? Do you know that I have been guided by Baba all through my life? The art of living came up when I learned the art of loving from Sathya Sai Baba, he said. Swami taught me the art of loving. And that is how art of living came. Then I told him, Guruji, then you should come to Puttaparthi. He said, who are you to invite me? I said, I am a devotee of Sathya Sai to invite. You don't need to invite me at all. It is my rule. I have to come and charge myself there. That is what he said. And he narrated some of the incidents when he was there in Prashantalilayam and he came to invite Swami for his 50th birthday. People, yogis, I asked a very stupid question to Swami once. Very stupid of me. Swami said, I said, Swami, I want to ask you a question. Swami said, Yemi. I said, oka pichi prashna, Swami. I said, well, Swami, the pichi, this is the mental question, Swami. Swami said, Adugu, anni pichi prashna adugu. Then Swami, everybody in the world, presidents, prime ministers, kings, queens, princes, everybody is coming. Why is it that yogis and yoga purushas who are there in the Himalayas, who are doing so many tapas and everything, why is it that those people are not seen here? Good question. Right? Swami looked at me and said, Pichi vadivi. He said, mad fellow. వాళ్ళందరూ ఇక్కడికి వస్తే నీకు చోటు ఎక్కడుందిరా కూర్చోడానికి? If all of them come here for darshan, where is their place for you to sit down? వాళ్ళకి నేను దర్శనం వాళ్ళకి అక్కడే ఇస్తాను. I give darshan to them in their own places. That is what I do, he says. This is Bhagwan. Somebody tells me I've seen Swami in Himalaya. Somebody says. So this is a beautiful story that goes on. I have about 10 minutes. I will narrate one story. This is how he protects his devotees. My father had a very big issue with one of the chief ministers of Andhra Pradesh. He was in the headlines every day. There was a tug of war. The chief minister wanted something to be done. My father said, no, this is not the right way to do it. I will not do it. I will stick to my virtues. This is how it is going to be. So every day there was an article, and my father third day he was transferred from that posting. He was put in another place. There also he kicked up trouble. From there he was posted to another place. My father got vexed. And he said, Chalo. So we took a car, me and my father. We reached Puttaparthi. My father was called inside the interview room. My father went inside. Yemi Sitapati, Yemaindi, what happened? Swami, you know what happened. Yemi Uttaram Pettukoni vachitivi. There was a letter that Swami, my father was calling. Swami, and I want to resign from the Indian Administrative Services. I wanted to tell you and resign. Swami said, Auna. Swami took the letter and tore it off. He said, Pichivadivi, Neelanti vallu untene vallu bhayapadtaru. People like you with ethics and human values should be there. Only then these fellows will be scared of you. Don't worry. And he said, you have my protection. Wherever there is truth, I will protect. Swami materialized a locket which has Mahakali, Shiva Shakti. We are talking of Shakti. I have never seen a locket like that in my life. Swami materialized a lot. I am giving you my Shakti today. Take it. Go fight the chief minister. You will win, he said. And you will not believe, in 3 days, every newspaper, there were headlines every day. 4th day, the CM called my father and said, he caught hold of my father's hand and said, I will not meddle with you. You don't meddle with me. Let's stop here. You are a Sathya devotee. I am a Sathya devotee. Let's call it quits. See the power of Swami. How he does things. So it is very pertinent that all of us have to stick to our value systems. काफी लोग सोचते हैं यार ये चलता है कर देंगे, लगे रहो. Swami is one person or one phenomenon, I would say, who will take you to the last step of death. You know, आप मर जाएंगे बोल के सोचते हैं, जब आते हैं कहते हैं मैं हूं ना, मैं भगवान श्री सत्य बाबा हूं, मैं आपके साथ हूं. He turns it topsy-turvy. And I'm sure every one of you have got this beautiful experiences. You know, the Satyasai credit card is something very dear to us. So whatever we do, there is a bonus, there is a plus points, there are negative points that actually add to your credit system. When good is happening, Swami takes care of it. Negative तो Swami आजकल ऐसा कर रहे हैं Swami. काफी लोग कहते थे कि अगर आप गलत करो तो आपका नेक्स्ट जन्म में ऐसा होगा या ऐसा होगा कहते थे. बट दीज डेज गॉड इज फिनिशिंग सेटलमेंट अभी कर दे रहे हैं, इसी जन्म में कर रहे हैं. सो वी नीड टू बी वेरी केयरफुल विद इट. आई विल एंड दिस स्टोरी विद एन इंसिडेंट फॉर दोज ऑफ यू who think that Swami is not there after 2011. This is an incident that happened with me, my personal life, and it even gives nightmares to me even today. I was heading a company called as Oliva Skin Clinics as a CEO, and I was traveling with a plastic surgeon, Dr. Subramaniam, from Hyderabad to Chicago to buy a robotic hair transplant surgery machine. You must be wondering, why is this guy buying it? I have hair. I had some hair that time, but we went there to buy a robotic machine. So I was leaving to Chicago, and suddenly at 8:30 in the night, I get a call from one of my friends, who is a younger brother, very close to me. He said, Gopi Bhai, I hear that you're going to Chicago tomorrow. Can you do me a small favor? I said, Kya hai? He said, I have some medical samples. I want you to hand it over to a friend of mine. It actually had to go to Austin. So you can post it there and hand it over to them by courier. I said, okay, you bring it now. He said, no, I'll come in the morning tomorrow. I know you're traveling by this British Airways flight. I'll meet you at the airport. I said, okay. So this gentleman, this young boy, brought 3 samples, 3 small polythene bags of medicines. I asked him, do you have the documents? He says, yeah, these are all the documents. These are FDA approved. Everything is in place. You keep this with you. This is the document. So like a good boy, I put some in one bag, one in another bag, and 3. I was carrying 3 bags. I went, and we had a good ride. We landed in Chicago, and my doctor was there, my colleague was there. I told Dr. Subramaniam, you pass through the green channel and go and wait for me. I will declare this and come because I'm carrying some medicines. I will just go to the customs and tell them this is the documentation, I'll declare. I went to the customs and declared that I showed them one packet. I said, I'm carrying these documents. They looked, that lady was there. She took the documents, she looked at it and said, sir, can I see the samples, sir? I gave the samples. She looked at it, then a couple of other officers came, they looked at it. Then they said, sir, these drugs are not permitted into the United States. I said, what do you mean? I said, the FDA documentations. Sir, these are not the original FDA documents. These are prototype of FDA documents, but not the original past FDA documents. So these are not. This is actually drug trafficking into our country, sir. We will analyze the samples. If the samples are true to what you have said, you will be arrested immediately. I said, I'm in alien land. I've asked my colleague to be outside. And they said, you please wait. So after an hour, they wanted me to wait. Then I said, I want to talk to my brother. My eldest brother is the head of World Bank for Africa, a United Nations officer. So I said, can I speak to him? He said, sorry sir, we can't give you anything. You will have to wait. We are analyzing the samples. They've asked me to pay $500. I paid that money. They were analyzing it. They made me sit. No water also. Then after that, another 5-6 officers came and they started interrogating me. And the way they spoke to me, I'm telling you, no one in the world should listen to the way they spoke to me. It was disgusting. Disgusting. The way they actually treated me, not less than a criminal. And I was feeling very, very bad. Then I said no. Then they took me to a very large interrogation room, maybe half the size of this hall. And I was made to sit there. 10 officers were interrogating me. Then they asked me all pertinent questions. I asked for water. They said no water, nothing. We will decide. They said the drugs that you brought in matches with the documentation. These are samples, drug samples, which are banned. And this is drug trafficking. You are arrested under the act. Now the further decision will be taken by the captain. He is going to come. So I was waiting in that room all alone, not knowing what it is. So after some time, one lady came and said, hey, here, listen to me. You're not going to get out of this, let me tell you. The captain who is going to come, he's of Pakistan origin. He hates Indians. He will not let you go. This was the scenario. I said, can I speak to some attorney? You must be having an attorney or somebody who can I speak. He said, only after the captain comes you can speak. Nothing. Then I was made to wait. Then this captain came, a short guy, Mustafa Ekbadsta. So he came and said, so you are the guy who's bringing drugs into my country? And he started off bombarding me. And I said, no, captain, listen to me. I am telling you the truth. I belong to this. At that point of time, I said, sir, I belong to the Sathya Seva organizations. I am a devotee of Sathya Sai Baba. I am speaking the truth. I brought the samples from a friend to be given to the. He said, who is that friend? What is the company's name? मेरे को वो documents लेके अंदर लगाया उसका नाम भी नहीं देखा. I didn't know. Then he said, do you have the address of the person whom you're sending it? There was a pouch. The pouch is there in that cover. They have taken it for analysis. I didn't know the company that where I have to send it. Imagine my situation. I had nothing. I said, I was telling, I'm pleading, I'm a Sathya Sai Baba devotee. I was telling him, I started crying. And I didn't know what to do. I said, I'm telling you, sir, I don't know if you have seen Sathya Baba. I'll tell you, I'll show you a picture of his, I said. In my suitcase, and I told him, no, I have 2 more packets of samples, sir, and I pulled out from the second box and gave it to him. So, you're carrying more, is it? This is an offense, this is going to be very harsh on you, he was telling me. I said, I have, even in the third bag, sir, I'll pull it out. In the suitcase that I was carrying a set of books in a brown wrapper, which I kept it at the bottom of the suitcase, neatly wrapped. That was a book that we released from Prashanti Society in Hyderabad. The book was The Splendor of Sathya Sai. Swami's hand is like this, the picture is like. So, it so happened, I opened the suitcase to pull out the third packet. As I open, the suitcase opens like this. One book just comes up like this. The wrapper is open. It starts at the back of my suitcase like this. And that Captain Mustafa is looking at me. He's looking at that book. He's looking at me. He said, who is this guy? He said. I said, I've been telling you all through the ride. This is Sathya Sai. At that point of time, I didn't even realize that the book was at the bottom. How did it come up? ऊपर क्यों ओपन कौन किया यार कौन लगाया वहां पे Then I said, I've been talking to you, Captain. This is Sathya Sai Baba I'm talking about. Who is this weirdo? He said. I said, this is what I'm talking about. I belong to his organization. I was telling him, I was trying to look for that card, which Brother Sundar had given an ID card. That those days, I couldn't find that also, unfortunately. I was telling him. Then he was looking at. Then suddenly he said, hey, did this guy do any medical camp in Pakistan? He asked me. Imagine my plight at that point of time. I'm half dead, I'm crying, and the captain is asking me, did Swami do a medical camp in Pakistan? Swami Pakistan mein kare, Timbuktu mein kare, kis gali mein medical camp kare, mujhe kya pata hai? I said, I don't know. No, somebody told me that there's this guy, weirdo guy, some people came and did a camp in Pakistan, and my grandmother also had an eye operation, they've done something. I said, sir, I don't know about it, but this. He looked at me, smiled and said, he called his officers, this guy is speaking the truth. Let him go. Imagine in a split second, he said, this guy is speaking the truth. Let him go. He called 2 officers. He said, take the samples, go to that incinerator, dump them in that incinerator, put it into fire. He said, take him to that counter, get a ticket issued. My colleague had already left. And there were frantic calls happening from India to Chicago. Ganga, my wife, is being called and said, Gopi is not seen anywhere. They were worried. My wife is saying, don't worry about him. He'll come out wherever he is. He'll come out. Don't worry about him. This Balasubramaniam was very, very disturbed. He was coming to the US for the first time. He didn't know where to go. He was waiting. Ultimately, he took the flight. He went to Denver. And I was standing there. So the police came, took me to the counter, bought me a ticket for the next day, took me to the hotel, put me up in the hotel and said, if you have any problem to reach to the airport, please call us. We'll drop you at the airport. Ye kaun kar sakta hai? Who can do it? And that is why I call him my best friend. He's pulled me out and my family from umpteen things. And my entire family is, indebted to him. My eldest brother, who is actually advisor to the Central Vigilance Commission now, who was the Principal Chief Commissioner of Income Tax. He was poisoned by his own attender with arsenic. He lost both his limbs, hands. He was almost on the deathbed. He wanted to come and die in Puttaparthi. Swami said, don't worry. He metallized something and gave it. You'll be all right. He was on leave 2 years and he was promoted. Can you imagine an Indian Revenue Services officer being promoted on leave? And Swami is telling, Ippude sign chesnadu. Manmohan Singh just signed his file. Next day, 3 days later, the order comes signed by Manmohan. So, brothers and sisters, we are so fortunate. What kind of, we are blessed to be contemporaries of Sai. And those of you youngsters, a lot of youngsters have not seen Swami physically. You have a great blessing. आप physically नहीं देखे बच गए आप स्वामी को ऐसा देख लो जैसा रामा को देखते हो जीसस को देखते हो कृष्णा को देखते हो लगे रहो and I'll tell you this Bhagwan is the coolest person or phenomenon that anyone can actually see in your lifetime. And Swami has been so graceful, in all our lives. So I can end or have 1 more 2 minutes. Yeah. So there are so many stories, I've told. But the last story that I want to talk about is a very interesting story because youngsters are there. I want to narrate this. With this, I will end my talk. It so happened that during this 70th birthday, our entire group of about 300 boys from Hyderabad, we were in Puttaparthi rendering seva in the canteen for about 45 days. So most of us, after the birthday was over, didn't even have darshan and we left because we had jobs to do. Swami came that day and he asked how many are there. We said, Swami, 105 are there. Swami blessed all of us. And he went back and told Mr. B.V. Raman Rao. I don't know how many of you know. Sri B.V. Raman Rao was the National Services Coordinator, a very ardent follower of Swami from Hyderabad. Very blessed, who could gauge Swami very fast, So Swami called Raman Rao uncle and said, I am very upset. Go and tell the Hyderabad boys that they came and did seva here, but they didn't come and see me. They should have come for darshan. Tell them that darshan is as important as seva. So brothers and sisters, please don't hesitate to go to Puttaparthi. Lot of people say, मैं अपने दिल में, अपने रूम में, अपने मंदिर में स्वामी को देख लेता हूँ. Swami is present here. I know it very well. वो पूरा एक one part of the story. But going to your mother's place is something that you should do. Please take the best opportunity to go. The easiest time that you can go and see Swami. If you're not doing that, you're doing a very big mistake. So Swami sent this message to us. So he came and thrashed us. I'm sure that some of you know when Mr. Raman Rao uncle speaks how it is. I think Nimish Bhai knows it very, very well. So Swami banged us. He said, Ye Ishnaru, Ita Ishnaru. So then we said, okay, Swami is upset with us. The best thing that we should do now is go back to Swami and stay there in Puttaparthi and only do darshan. So 40 of us, we went to Puttaparthi and we stayed, took accommodation. Subah khana, jaake darshan karna, come back and sleep. This was a routine. And the boys were very used to doing seva in Puttaparthi. कुछ ना कुछ मौका लेके कोई कुछ सेवा करना सोचते हैं. First day हो गया. Second day morning darshan is also over. Then some of the senior boys and girls say, अन्ना क्या है अन्ना ये घर पे क्या रूम में सो जा रहे हैं अन्ना खाना पीना सो रहे क्या कर रहे हैं अन्ना कुछ सेवा करते हैं अन्ना ए चुप सो जाओ दर्शन करो सो जाओ. This was the command that we had. 2 days passed like that. The boys were very, very angry with us. Third day, I remember me, Y. Srinivas and another brother Uday, we were walking down from the shed, from the last shed. As we were walking from the North 7, suddenly we felt a stench, smell, dirty smell. And we went and saw what was. We saw that the bathrooms were a little dirty and, they were clogged. Then I told boss, so liye, both kare, chalo kaam karte hain. Bahar gaye. We went outside, bought brushes, acid, phenyl, everything. We went to the room and said, come on, get up. There's a lot of work to do. So we started cleaning the public toilets in Prashanthanilayam at 8:30. The rule was, will your bathroom shine better than me? So it was a competition. The bathroom should glitter. Yours is better, mine is better. So we started cleaning all the bathrooms. We were cleaning the last set of bathrooms near the shed, the human values shed at the last. Then a red Maruti car, I think that is the first Maruti car presented to Swami by the Maruti group. Chiranjeev Rao uncle and Chakravarti uncle come in that car. So they get down, Chakravarti uncle is in the car, Chiranjeev Rao comes and he says, hey Junior Sitapati, you come here, he says. He knows my father very well, he didn't know my name. So he said, Junior Sitapati, you come here. I went running. He said, what are you doing? I said, uncle, we are cleaning bathrooms, uncle. He said, who is the leader of this group? Well, that was a tricky question. Being from a bureaucratic family, I knew there was trouble. So immediately I realized that Uday was 7 months elder to me. I said, uncle, that fellow there, that black fellow, Uday is the leader, uncle. He said, hey, you come here. So Uday came running. So when he came running, he said, are you the leader? Then Uday looked at me like this. I said, bol na. So, what are you doing? He said, uncle, we are cleaning the bathrooms. He said, who gave you the permission? Chiranjana uncles. He said, who gave you the permission? This fellow, he should respond to an elderly person. He laughed at him. What uncle you are telling? And Chiranjana uncle got angry. I said, why are you laughing at me? Uncle, what are you telling me, uncle? This is my home, uncle. In my home, if I have to clean bathrooms, should I take anybody's permission? Is there a necessity to take permission, uncle? He said. Right answer? For us, it is a very right answer. Chiranjana uncle got annoyed and he said, no. And he went off. जाने के बाद उसको बोला, अरे तू क्या बोल दिया बॉस? तू तो बोल दिया अभी. ये छोटे साहब जाके बड़े साहब को बोलेंगे. Bhagwan Sri Sathya Baba is Rama avatar, Krishna avatar, all avatars put together. He will listen. Tomorrow we are gone. Swami comes in the morning. And Swami, he is muttering something and he has come. Em chestiri. Swami, em led. Pondi. Then he sent us into the interview room. In the interview room, we were all sitting. Then Swami said, what did you guys do yesterday afternoon? This was the question that Swami. Then immediately he said, Swami, bathroom lo kadiginam Swami. We cleaned the bathrooms. Immediate question, Yavarichinaru permission? Same word, Chiranjeev Rao, Xerox. Bhagwan is asking, who gave you the permission? We all looked at Uday Bhaskar Reddy. Bol beta, abhi bol. Abhi bol na. So he laughed. Swami, atta japtar and Swami, what are you telling Swami? It is not the permission, Swami, that is important. You gave us the opportunity to clean, Swami, he said. And Swami was so happy, I am telling you, when that word came out. Swami was so happy. And he said, Chala santosham, santosham. Then, I was sitting right beside him. And Swami was playing with his hand. And suddenly something came in his hand. And I was wondering what it is. Swami just turned his hand and Swami, there was a beautiful diamond of this size. Then Swami asked, hey, em try the? So everybody said, Swami, this is diamond, Swami, diamond. Diamond and Telsu, em diamond do. Somebody said Kohinoor, somebody said le. Then Swami said, this is the original nose stud of Kanyaka Parameshwari. The Kanyakumari temple, the original nose diamond. Swami explained how it used to dazzle in the night and warn ships and all these things. And he said, this has been looted and it is in a New South Wales museum. I put the guards to sleep and brought it to show it to you guys, Swami says. We were very happy. Then, we were all wondering, what it is. And then Swami suddenly looked and said, Amy, chustava. Swami said, do you want to see? Swami, yes, Swami. Then he said, Swami gave it. Then, I was holding it. Then Swami asked Vice Srinivas, Uday, everybody to touch it. Then he said, do you know the value of this diamond? Then Swami said, this is, today, I'm talking of 1998. Today, the value of this diamond is 30 crores, he said. 30 crores. And Swami said, I am in a very happy mood today. I want to gift it to somebody. Swami says, and everybody was alert. Hum soche, hame to pata hai. So there were all youngsters there. Then Swami said, who wants it? Everybody raised his hand. Swami, give it to me, give it to me. Then Swami looked at one boy at the corner there and said, hey, what is your name? He said, Swami Srikant. Hey, very disciplined boy. Very good. Catch padta hua, catch. Swami said, will you catch? He said, he was happy. 30 crore diamond free aa raha hai yaar. Pehli baar darshan ko aa raha, 30 crores aayega. Swami said, okay, catch. He threw it like this. It just went into thin air. Poof! It vanished. It vanished. Now, then after that, Swami said a beautiful thing. He said, now you guys tell me, boys, you tell me, what is the greatest reward that God, and he showed himself, what is the greatest reward that God bestows on a good seva worker? एक अच्छा सेवा वर्कर को भगवान किस तरह का गिफ्ट देता है? Swami showed himself and said, what does God give? We were talking about it. Swami said, no. Then we said, Swami, you tell us. Then he said, shall I tell you? The greatest gift that I give to a good worker is that
I give you another opportunity to serve. I give you another opportunity to serve. Imagine how many opportunities we would have got as on date, each one of us. Scores of them. Every day you might be getting at least about 15, 20 opportunities in your life. How many of you grab them? Even helping mother in the kitchen, Swami says it's seva. Asking somebody, are you okay? How are you doing? Is seva. In fact, Swami once said, even when you look at a person and smile at him, Swami says it's seva. Because, you are showing him that you're happy. Imagine the Lord has come and told us so many beautiful stories. And He has lived Himself as an example to all of us. What more do we need? This is the greatest thing. And Swami, in that beautiful form, as that poem goes, Pala Bugalu, he's got these beautiful cheeks. Pala Bugalavadu, Chekili Machagalawadu. He's got a beautiful mole on his head. Chekili Machagalawadu, Pala Bugalavadu, Chekili Machalagalavadu, Pannaga Sayanudu, Ungarala Juttugalavadu, Koteru Mukugalavadu, Korikalanu Jayinchuvadu. One who makes you desireless. Pagadala Pedavulagalavadu. His lips are like beautiful pearls. Pagadala Pedavulagalavadu. Panchama Shruti Kalavadu. When you listen to his voice, it's like the Sapta Swaras. Panchama Shruti Kalavadu. Dharani Talli Vinapamavida. On the request of Mother Earth, Divinundi Bhuvike Chinchina Purushottamudu. The one who has arrived from heaven onto the earth. Atade Mana Pranamitrudu. He is the only friend, your lifelong friend. Atade Sanatana Saradudu. Mana Sathya Sai Shudu. Swami, bless us all. Make us worthy instruments in your mission. Even if we leave you, Swami, please don't leave us. And we are sure that you will never leave us. Please continue to bless us and give us more and more opportunities to do seva and get closer to you. Jai Sai Ram.
Sairam, I had not had the opportunity to interact with Sir before. And when I saw the invitation that Siddharth sent, I was so surprised. I thought, ek aadmi aa raha hai ya 5-6 aadmi aa rahe? He is a man who's a CEO. He was a sports person in his college days. He has done a lot of work as a youth. He heads national leadership. And how is it that one person is doing so much? And then when in the afternoon Sir came and started speaking to the youth, when he has been speaking for the last 1.5 hours, I realized that if you allow Swami to shape you, if you allow Bhagwan to become that true friend of yours, this is what is possible. We have been seeing Sir since morning. He has taken an early morning flight from Hyderabad. He came directly, interacted with the youth, went upstairs. He was interacted with his leadership students. He had a late lunch, came directly and spoke with so much power, so much energy. It cannot be human energy. It has to be Bhagwan's energy. On behalf of Mumbai's devotees, I request Nimesh Uncle and Srinivas Sir to express our gratitude to Uncle.